What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 210, and we start today's episode off by putting in a bid for Kevin Savanier. Now, of course, Savanier currently at PSG. We know that we're going to have to spend over the odds to get hold of this guy because, well, he's 82 overall, 21 years old. As the chief executive says, he looks like a future star. We know he's got the potential to be special. So Savanier is going to cost us quite a bit of money, but we put in a bid for him regardless, and the reason we did that is because there's still money left over. Of course, we just lost Sanchez as well. We wouldn't mind a new wide midfielder, and of course Savanier can play through the middle. I think he's better through the middle as well. And of course, as I know, you guys really do seem to want Savanier back. There's been loads of comments I've read over the past, well, since we joined Arsenal really, saying can you get Savanier back in the series. So yeah, Savanier, I always felt Savanier didn't really live up to his potential when he played for us. I always felt as though he was a bit underwhelming, but a lot of you guys do want him, and of course Savanier does have the potential to be special. He can play out wide and through the middle, so I guess it's worth at least trying to re-sign him, and there you go. Still, we take on Aston Villa for the first game of today's episode here as we travel to Villa Park, and the first chance fell to us here as Niang's strike goes just wide of the post after some nice build-up and behind for a goal kick. And in the 31st minute, Villa had their first chance of the game. Tyson rolling the ball forward towards Kakitani, and his strike goes over and behind. So still goalless in this game, but a couple of chances for both sides in the first half. And just before the half-time whistle, Kakitani finds Loughton down the left-hand side here, and Matt Loughton takes it around Callum Chambers and Ryo Miyaichi. He plays it back towards Gardner on the edge of the area. He picks out Ashley Westwood, and his strike hits the post and is eventually cleared away. And that shot seemed to go in slow motion there. It hit the post though, and it was cleared away. So still goalless, and a couple minutes after the restart, Vyman is denied by a good save by Chris Ince. So in this game, Aston Villa were looking the better side, but in the 53rd minute here, Miyaichi skips round Luna and goes down this right-hand side. He cuts inside into the area and goes for goal from a tight angle, but the goalkeeper has a pretty simple save and keeps it goalless. And the final chance fell here in the 74th minute as, well, I can't pronounce this guy's name clearly, but the number 16 for Aston Villa comes forward, rolls it off towards Gardner. Gardner lets it go behind his feet, then finds Coffey on the edge of the area. He plays it back inside to the number 16, who does strike it, and it goes just wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. So final score was Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. To be honest, you can see Miyaichi clapping there, and I'm pretty pleased with that 0-0 draw, because on another day, Villa could have snuck the win. They played better than us. We did have a couple of chances, yes, but they hid woodwork. Chris Ince had to make a couple of good saves. In the end, the goalless draw was probably not the right result, but in the end, a goalless draw was something I will take from the game, because it certainly could have been worse for us, and we could have left Villa Park with nothing. Still following that, we saw that Onyedinma has been sold, and that's okay with me. He was a deadwood player who was never really going to succeed here, so he's gone, and I'm fine with that. And also, we had a scout report as well, so we take a look at a couple of those players, and we'll wait and see how they look after another month or two. And also, you can see Cagliari came back to us regarding Carboni. This is the 4th time they come back to us now, and they will not let go of the guy unless they get £15 million plus Szczesny. And as I've been saying, I don't mind paying that, but to be honest, the more I think about it, that money, £15 million, is not just £15 million on its own, it's also £15 million plus Szczesny. And this is for a goalkeeper who, yes, 87 overall, I'd like to get him into the club as soon as possible, but we can sign him for free next year if we want. And don't forget, Chris Ince has come in, he gets a clean sheet in the Arsenal game, and he has been doing very, very well. No noticeable mistakes I can think of right now. So I just thought, do you know what, we'll just sign him for free next year. I mean, we don't need to sign a new goalkeeper right now. I'm pretty confident even if I did put Szczesny back in the first team, obviously he's been dropped for Chris Ince, but I'm pretty sure if I did put him back in the first team, he'd still do alright. And Ince is doing a great job on his own anyway. He's already up to a 77 overall. We may as well just sign him for free and save our money, and then, you know, possibly sell Szczesny next season. So in the end, I thought it's better to do that, and there you go. And as you can see, we did have some more transfer stuff going on here. Obviously, Marcos Astina looks like he's on his way out of the club. Thank goodness for that. He's a waste of wages, really. And also Kevin Savanier, I can't see this deal coming off. Like, I want it to, I really do, because I know you guys really want Savanier back, and he could be a really good player for us. Obviously, I think he's better through the middle, but he can play out wide as well. It's always nice to be versatile, and of course, don't forget, he does have the potential to be special, but we'll have to wait and see. I think PSG are going to hold us to ransom, and I'm not going to spend anything over £30 million. I think £30 million is probably the benchmark, really. But Southampton came in for Chris Ince and said he goes £13.5 million for him, and that is a really good deal. But I said no, as Astina does get sold to Aston Villa, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Finally, he's off the wage bill. And I said no, that was a really decent deal for Chris Ince, but he's come in and he's done such a good job. You know, he's a 77 overall goalkeeper now. He's replaced Szczesny in the team. He's done a really, really decent job. He's growing nicely, and he's on pretty low wages, to be fair. I'd rather keep him in the club, and even if Carboni does come in next year, as we offer him a pre-contract there, and he does go back to being on the bench, bench, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him being on the bench. He's not going to waste too much wages, and he's probably still going to grow anyway, even if he just plays cup games. So, yeah, that was a good deal by Southampton, but in the end, I thought it's probably best to keep hold of our goalkeeper as a backup. Szczesny will probably get sold next year, or hopefully before the January transfer window is over. And yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Still, we take on Stoke City for the second and final game of today's episode. Here is Stoke come and take us on at the Emirates Stadium. And as you can see by the team, there were a couple of changes made to this team, as we did have a Capital One Cup clash against Spurs coming up in midweek. So I'd want the first team back for that one, as the first leg finished 1-0. And as we travel to White Hart Lane, I think it could be more difficult. But even so, still very strong side regardless. And first chance fell to us in the 11th minute. It's just a brilliant ball through by Danny Welbeck towards Aubameyang. What a great ball that was, but Begovic denies our French forward and keeps it goalless. And from that, Stoke City broke here with Juve getting on the ball for them and playing it towards Yildirim. Yildirim plays a great ball through towards Bojan. Lovely first touch. He's round Mario Williams, takes the shot on from range, but Chris Ince makes a good save and shows exactly why Southampton wanted him, but we didn't want to sell him. So still goalless. And in the 17th minute here, Rani Yunlu finds Danny Welbeck. Welbeck plays that wide towards Aubameyang. Those two linking up really nicely early on. Niang cuts inside, plays it through towards Ryo Miyaichi, and the Japanese winger ends up hitting the woodwork, and then Begovic clears. So still goalless in this game as we hit the woodwork there. But there were a couple of good chances early on for both sides. Both teams had a really fast start to this game. Again, Chris Ince has to make a good save here to tip the ball over the bar and keep it goalless. So still 0-0. And from that resulting corner, it is Bojan who crosses the ball into the box, looking for Ryan Shawcross. He doesn't cross it, he passes it, looking for Ryan Shawcross. Shawcross back to Bojan. Bojan inside towards his man, and it goes just wide of Ince's post and behind for a goal kick. So good early chances for both sides in this game, but it was still goalless. And another great one here in the 27th minute as Stoke crossed the ball into the far post, and the header goes into the side netting and behind. So still 0-0, but both sides looking very threatening early on. Just past half an hour mark though, Joel Campbell finds Aubameyang as we go on the break. He turns Ryan Shawcross, and once Niang was round Shawcross, well, there was only going to be one winner in this race. Of course it's going to be Niang. He goes through one-on-one, and to be honest, Begovic is a pretty decent goalkeeper. He does very well in FIFA as well, but he should have saved that one as Niang goes through down the left hand side. He's on his weaker left foot. It's a tight angle. It's pretty much straight at Begovic. I know he's relatively close to the Bosnian goalkeeper, but it's straight at him and you'd expect him to make that save. Instead it just seems to go through his body really and into the back of the net. So Arsenal 1, Stoke City 0. I guess you can't blame him too much, but I just expected him to save it really. But it was 1-0 to Arsenal. Welbeck went close there, but his deflected shot went over Begovic but was cleared off the line by Ryan Shawcross. So still 1-0 in this game. But after the goal, we really did come alive. Unlu's strike here was brilliantly saved by Begovic and turned behind for a corner, looking to redeem himself as he keeps it at 1-0. And Stoke were playing just as good as us in the first half, but after the goal we looked a lot better. But in the second half they tried to get themselves back on level terms with Eric Peters down his left hand side. He takes on Ryo Miyaichi. He picks out Bojan back to Peters, who crosses the ball in towards Nzonzi, and again Chris Ince with another big save, and Debussy turns it behind for a corner. So Ince having a very good game, and it was still 1-0 to Arsenal. And just before the hour mark here, we win the ball back and it comes to Danny Welbeck. Welbeck rides a slide challenge and goes through one-on-one and drills it past Begovic and into the bottom corner and makes it Arsenal 2, Stoke City 0 as the clock goes into the hour mark. So Welbeck gets a goal there, and he deserved a goal as well. He was looking really, really good in this game, and he does make it 2-0. So good finish past Begovic there. It's his third goal in the Premier League, and it's Arsenal 2, Stoke City 0. And just a couple minutes later, we win the ball back here, and it comes to Vargas. Vargas collects the ball and plays it through towards Welbeck. We go on the break. Danny Welbeck is all alone down the right-hand side. He cuts through the middle and shoots, and as you'll see, he scores again and makes it Arsenal 3, Stoke City 0. Pretty fortunate finish as well. He actually slipped when taking the shot, but it clipped the inside of the post and went into the back of the net. So Arsenal 3, Stoke City 0. 2 goals for Danny Welbeck, who was easily man of the match in this game. Well, Chris Ince was a contender as well, but in my opinion, Welbeck was playing really, really well himself. So 3-0 to Arsenal in this game, and the game was pretty much done at that stage. And it was a good performance as well. Again, we were pretty solid defensively. Ince had a very good game in goal, and as for our strikers and our finishing, we weren't exactly clinical, and as clinical as we could have been, but we took enough chances to win the game, that's for sure. And as you can see, the final chance, or one of the final chances, fell here, but the header went onto the post and behind for a goal kick. And the final chance of the game did fall in the 73rd minute. Danny Welbeck on a hat-trick finds Olu Barjo off the bench, takes around Ryan Shawcross and shoots, but it goes just wide of the post. And it was how the game would finish. So Arsenal 3, Stoke City 0, a comprehensive victory. Great to get back to winning ways after that goalless draw against Aston Villa. A really good win and great confidence going into the Capital One Cup semi-final second second leg against Spurs on Wednesday night. So really pleased with that win, and really good to get back to winning ways as well. And as you'll see, the final thing we'll see here is Unlu say thank you for the game time he's getting right now, which is totally fine, because even though he's not growing, he's still putting in pretty decent shifts for us. And as you can see, PSG did say the bid for Savanier wasn't good enough, no real surprise there, but also that Carboni is going to join us next year, and yeah, we'll just sign him for free. That's what I said, and that's what we did. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.